Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live show. What a crazy day it was. We had a ton of poppers, and then you had the Mag 7 just pull back. I'm not even sure why, to be completely honest with you, but they definitely did fall down. The video was up in the pre-market, down like 6%. What a wild dip, and I hope people are taking advantage of the opportunity because we're going to go through them and see what's going to be popping tomorrow. I mean, how about that XTIA, RIME, DATS, BHAT? Fubo, FUBO, and so many other ones. Holy cow, just crushing the market we are as a show. So let's see what's the next ones. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice, so always do your due diligence. How is everybody today? Hope you guys are locking in those profits as they're going up because we have some runners right here. And let's check them out. DATS way up today, like over 355%. SVMH was another one that started to run. So let's just go through the list and see what's happening here. XTIA, again, this thing popped up early. It was up for a while too. You had plenty of time. It got up to that 25-cent area, and it wasn't just in pre-market. It was up there for a little bit, and it opened at 16, which it like closed yesterday at like 16, but it was opened at 4 cents. So that was a huge jump up. And then it just ran like crazy. So XTIA, and you guys know I was talking about this one and I kept telling you it was getting ready. It was getting ready. And I wasn't quite sure what it was waiting for. But there you go with a big old popper right there. And it is still in the top. It could bounce back up tomorrow morning. So keep an eye on it for a little momentum there in the morning. But yeah, that's a big old popper right there, XTIA. And just like we thought, and I know a lot of you guys were really excited about that one because we were talking about, like I said, I was surprised it didn't pop last week. It took its time, but bam, there you go. RIME was another one we were talking about, and that one ran up pretty nice today. It went 19 to 34. It's at 22 and still not looking bad. But yeah, that one went running up. We've been talking about it's not even at the top yet. It should try to get there tomorrow, I would assume. So we'll keep an eye on that and see what it wants to do in the morning. DATS, Dat Chat, talking about it last night right down there on that line. And we were saying it looked good. They have something to do with against TikTok, or they're the, whatever is going to be the opposite of TikTok in case TikTok goes down. I guess that chat's going to go up, and it sure did today. It ran like crazy, 259 to 946. It's at 740 right now, and that's DATS. And it does have that look like it's going to try to keep running in the morning, so keep an eye on it. But we were early to the party on that last night, and it just ran like crazy today. And then I even posted about it, seeing that it was about to pop up, and then that's when it really started to soar. So you had another opportunity today, and bam, it went up like over 100% from when I named that one today. So there you go, DATS. It's 2 days in a row. I just handed you guys 100%ers, and they ran immediately right after I posted them. And I don't post that many stock tickers, so I tell you, I'm going to give you out good ones. I give out good ones right there. I make sure they're ready to pop, and they are. So there you go with them bad boys. Let's look at that SVMH because that one's setting up. It was up 3 cents and running. It's in the top. I'd watch it tomorrow to try to be a little momentum player. 6 to 10. It's at 8, and it's still looking good right there. So keep your eye on that SVMH. Super early to the party on that one too. So there you go. There's 4 of them right there. CDT, we know about this, Conduit Pharmaceuticals, and this one was jumped up today. What'd it do? It ran what, 11 to 14, and it's at 12. So this one jumped up and still looks pretty good to try to run up again. We'll see how it works tomorrow, but it isn't looking bad at all. And that's CDT. And how about BHAT? Another one right here started running up. We were looking at it. I believe Scott was all over this bad boy, and we found that bottom. I mean, yesterday it looked like it. We were talking about it. This Blue Hat Interactive Entertainment. You guys know we've been watching it for a while, and it did look crazy as it was touching that bottom. We were talking about that and bouncing off, and bam, there you go. It started bouncing. So BHAT 10 to 16. It's at 16 and should get cruising tomorrow. So keep your eye on that one. And there you go. I mean, there's just a whole list of them right there. SYTA, this is a different one that we've looked at before. It just recently split and started looking really good. It's in between that channel. It ran up like $1.90 today. It was looking pretty solid there, 709 to 985. It's at 875, and like I said, still looks pretty solid. So keep your eye on SYTA for a little momentum play there for tomorrow, because it does look like it wants to continue up. And how about EYEN? Another one I said it was going to roll off that MACD today, and it started to. It was moving, that's for sure. EYEN. I said let's keep an eye on it again. 12 to 17. It's at 14 right now and looking really good. So keep your eye on Inovia, EYEN, because it's still looking good. Once it gets up over this 19-cent area, it's going to get booming, and it should do it this time. Last time it ran up to 22 and a half, but now that the resistant line came down, it doesn't have to get as high, and it should try to push right through it. So we'll see how the market conditions are tomorrow, obviously, but that one's still looking good. How about INO? I was checking this bad boy out today. It was up 35 cents. Just came out of the basement and looking pretty good. It was hitting the 20 right there. INO, and they are a pharmaceutical company. I'm not sure what they have going on here, but they had a public offering for $30 million back December 13th, and sometimes they do take a little while. So what day was that? Right back here, and let me see where it was. Yeah, that's when it dipped, because the day before that it was at 401. And its high was 408, and then the public offering came down to the twos. We're looking at 228, and now it's getting set up, hitting that 20, looking pretty good with some momentum. So keep your eye on INO, because it's looking pretty decent right there. CERO is another one that was looking decent today. We've looked at this before. It was up today and kind of just pulled back, but not looking bad. It looks like this one wants to kind of run too. So keep your eye on CERO. It went 5 to 10 and back to 5, but again, still looks decent. And a lot of them did kind of run up and pull back, or they just pulled back. So this one we'll keep an eye on. It still has a good look right there. Not looking bad, that's for sure. So I'll look at CERO. And how about FAMI? FAMI. Remember we were looking at it, and I told you it was getting set up. We were looking at it back here when it was in the 28, 27 cent area. It's at 35, almost 36. What did it get up to today? Because it was starting to move there. It was looking good. 33 to 36 right there. And like I said, it was setting up. Check this one tomorrow. It might pop off right there on FAMI. I was looking at that today, and it was looking really good. GITS, let's see what that is up to. Global Interactive Technologies, just kind of pulling back at the moment. Nothing crazy, though. Just a little bit of pullback. Yeah, I think that's just pulling back a little bit to set up. That bottom's there at 20 cents. It's at 22 and a half. Could be at 23. Yeah, it's at 22 and a half, it says. So we'll keep an eye on GITS. I know people are looking at this one, and it is getting set up. It had run up there on December 19th, and now just pulling back to set up, and we'll catch that set up right there. And SYRS, this was actually up a little bit, but then it pulled back. So let's see what it's doing today. SYRS, let me take a better look at it on the trend spider here. It went 26 to 27, came down to 23. It's at 24, and it's still setting up right there. That 20's down here at 22 and a half, and it did just kind of pull back. Nothing crazy, but still looks good there. Last time it was setting up, it did take a week or two, maybe even 3 weeks, and then it got blasted off. So this one, it's trying to set up. It's right there in that right spot, so we'll keep an eye on it. I think it's going to get running again, SYRS. So keep your eye on that one. And how about that Lion, LGHL, Lion Group Holding? And this one, just a little bit of pullback after it ran up that day on January 2nd. It ran up over 32 cents there. And now it has that little bit of pullback, but your 20 and your 50 are going to meet up. And I'm telling you what, this thing's just setting up. You might need to take this week, because remember, Thursday, the market is closed. So we won't do a show tomorrow night, since the market is closed Thursday for in honor of Jimmy Carter. So to remember him. him. And so yeah, Thursday it'll be closed, and then Friday it'll be open. So just remember that for tomorrow while you're trading too. And the Lion 19 to 21 today. It's at 20. And yeah, it's not looking bad. It's going to come down, roll off that MACD, and that 20 and 50 are going to get meet up there and shoot it up. So just keep an eye on that for the next few days. And like I said, Thursday going to be off, so it could just mess up the flow a little bit, but nothing crazy. And then we have a full week, and then we're off on a Monday for Martin Luther King Day, and I believe that's the day that Trump gets in. So that's an interesting one on the Martin Luther King Day, and then they have that. So. And then it's a whole new administration, and then it's going to get wild again and every which direction. We already know that, but we'll be prepared. This market don't even know what it wants to do right now. So I mean, Nvidia had like amazing news. You would think it would have went nutty, and all of a sudden it pulled back hardcore today, like you'd never seen it before. And then the CEO kind of just threw quantum computers and quantum and computer hardware right under the bus today. And we'll get into that and look at them because they pulled way back. I think they were topped out anyway, but he basically said they have some time before they can really get rolling. But we'll go into that later. Let's look at JAGX since we just looked at the Lion and JAGX. This one was trying to move. It was definitely moving yesterday, I remember. And yesterday it got up to 133. Today it opened at 130 and then came back down to 116. It's at 118. And it hit that top, but doesn't look bad. I could see it being just a little pullback, not even, but just being a pullback day. You could also see it coming back down and resetting up right here because the 20 just crossed the 50, and I could see it doing that. So I'll look at that tomorrow morning and see what it wants to do there, JAGX. And let's look at the Cheetah CTNT and see what that's up to. And this was down a little bit too, and it's right in that channel like we were talking about. So just give it a few days as well, and then it'll get set up there. So the Cheetah's in that channel, and we'll take a look at that. And how about RCAT? This one was down. And again, computer hardware, a lot of these came down. So let's see what it does. It has some good support right here at 11.95. We're at 13 right now for RCAT. And we'll see what it wants to do. It's at 12.95, it says. So yeah, we'll see what it wants to do as it hits this MACD. And again, the CEO of Nvidia basically said they might take some time, but that doesn't always mean something. That could be an overreaction where they pull back and then you have a great opportunity. So we're going to take a look at them and see what's going on with them bad boys. How about Uber? This thing's been running up there. It was down a little bit. It did run up today, but it did pull back towards the end. 67.50. It went up to that 68.83. It went through to 50 there, which was like 68.50, and then it's at 66.28 right now. So it is under where it opened, but it did run up there, Uber, and it is hitting the 50. Maybe it is going to pull back. We'll have to see. It's an interesting one. I was looking at the SPY. We'll obviously go over it, but that's an interesting look too. So we'll break that down. That CPHI, that had run up today, and it did hit the top. You can't tell if it wants to stair step up. I was looking at it yesterday. Well, it ran up in the after hours up to that 49 cents. Today it opened at 32. And then it got to it's at 23 right now. So CPHI, it did run up, it hit that top, and honestly it could pull back. It could be that pullback and then bounce back up look. That 20 is also coming up to hit the 50. Does have some good support down there. I could see it pulling back a little bit and down a couple cents and resetting up. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that one, CPHI, because you can't really tell exactly what it wants to do at the moment. And how about TRNR? Let's look at that one right now. Interactive Strength. This one was trying to get rolling today, and then it actually pulled back there. Let's see what it did. I didn't even know it pulled back. It went from 311 to 340, and its low is 307. It closed at 330 though, so it is up. On the FinViz, it has it at 320 as its hot after hours and closing at 318. It looks really good right here, guys. So keep your eye on this Interactive Strength TRNR. And I was saying it was looking good. This has a flat look, but has a plenty of room that it can run right there. So definitely keep an eye on that bad boy. TRNR, I think that's looking good to set up. And how about good old Fubo, FUBO, another one we were looking at. They had some deal with Disney. We had looked at this before. It ran up yesterday, and it's still in that top. So we'll have to look. I think it might be topped out there. It opened at 639, got up to 658, and it's at 502 right now. So that's FUBO. And again, we were looking at it. We've looked at it before, and then we were looking at it last night, and it did have a big old pop up there. So that's FUBO. And again, they had a deal with Disney and Disney to combine Hulu and live TV using Fubo TV. So that's one I've traded for a while there. And there you go with the big pop and CNSP. Let's see what CNS Pharmaceuticals is up to. It did pull back. It ran up yesterday pretty well. I was looking to see if it would pop back up there today. It's right in that channel. Remember, yesterday it ran 18 to 25, but it pulled on back today. It opened at 12, came down to 11. Doesn't look terrible, so we'll take a look at it. Could be a little pullback bounce situation. We'll look at it tomorrow. It's right in that channel right there, so it does have that look like it could bounce. Obviously, it could pull back, but I'm not sure it wants to. So we'll take a look at that CNSP, see what it wants to do. If it does want to bounce back up, it'll probably be a good one. PW's at power right. And again, we looked at this. This is just kind of setting up, and we looked at it way up here at that 228 area. And today it ran up a little tiny bit, nothing crazy. It just went 149 to 161. It's at 154, and again, it looks much better than it did. And that 20 looks like it's going to try to crawl up and hit it and try to move it up there. So that is PWNIVF. Let's see what that one's doing right here. NIVF. Let's see. It was down 3 cents. This one was trying to get set up. It was in a really good spot there. And now that it's just kind of cutting the 20 right there. Let me take a better look. Yeah, it's not too bad. I'd have to say it was just some pullback, 40 to 41, down to 35. It closed at 40 open and closed at the same spot. And looks pretty decent right there. Does say they have maybe they don't have earnings coming up. I'm not exactly sure, but it don't matter. And but it is looking pretty good right there. That's another one I'll definitely take a look at in the morning to see what that's up to, because that could be a mover as well. So we definitely want to see what that's doing there. And let's see what else is next right here. Let's take a look at CRKN. Let's see what that's doing. That's at Crown Electrokinetics Corp, and it did pull back a little bit. It's more flat than anything. I think it did run up a tiny bit as well today, 14 to 17, and it came back down to 12 and closed at 13. So yeah, it was running around. I did notice that, and I think that's based out again. That one reminds me of that ALLR. Not even that. This one doesn't. That's a different one. But this one's been in the basement since November. So November 21st is when it got in here. And this one's getting to be right in the right spot. So has to get over that 17 and a half. It's at 13. That 20 will come back down. It'll set back up. It was right there the other day. It was starting to look good on New Year's Eve. And then we came back and it kind of dipped back down to that 14-cent area on January 2nd. And now it's just trying to get set back up for CRKN. So I'll watch that tomorrow and let you know what it's looking like. But that will get set up to run. And Lockheed Martin is just perfect dip action right there. Let it come down and hit this like 460 area. As a matter of fact, we'll wait. January 28th looks like it has some earnings. So maybe it stays in the basement just until that area, that time frame, and then it'll get set up. So LMT, we're definitely keeping an eye on this. It was setting up. It was in a good spot a couple days ago and then took a perfect dip. So it paid to be patient on LMT, Lockheed Martin, because that one's going to be a good one. And this next one seems to be well hyped up right now. GCTK. Let me look at GCTK. I had to take a drink of water to do this one because everyone's talking about this thing. GCTK, that gluco track. Now, we were looking at this before, and it had looked really good, and now it pulled back the last 2 days. It's on that bottom line, and it does look good, honestly. I'm glad that we definitely stay patient because yesterday it took a beautiful dip there from 29 to 14, and today it opened at 15 to 16. It got down to 14. It's at 16, and it looks good. Today looks like it's probably that bottom, and I would have to say GCTK. You might want to keep an eye on it. So a lot of people are talking about that bad boy, and it does look pretty good to me. So definitely keep an eye on it, and we'll see what it wants to do right there. And let's take a look at that's GCTK sober. This one's setting up as well. SOBR. Let's see this because it was up 11 cents. I was looking at it. It looks like it wants to curl out of that basement. Yesterday could have been its bottom right there when it pulled back. And SOBR 106 to 116. Its bottom was 98 today. It's at what 90 or 104. It's at 104 right now. And I was just looking to see when its bottom was 91 there. It looks like 91 was its bottom. So yeah, it came down to 92 yesterday, and today's bottom was 98. So I think SOBR getting set up right here. So keep your eye on that one. And that is one of them scientific and technical instrument companies. So keep your eye on it. We'll be watching it and seeing what it wants to do there. And ZJK, this looked good yesterday. Hadn't run up. It just hit that line and went flat. So keep an eye on it because it's not looking bad. It ran up. And today, I just wanted to take a quick look at it. I was interested. It stayed up over to 20 today. It's at 10.07. It opened at 10.92, got up to 11.42, came down to 9.56, and it's at 10.07. And again, it looks like it wants to try to curl through. It just went flat right at the line, right underneath of it, but it does look pretty set up there. So keep your eye on it. We'll watch it and see if it curls through. But that one should definitely curl through in the next few days, I could imagine, and it'll get moving. So that is ZKJ. Or yeah, no, it's not. It's ZJK. If I could talk, it would help. But yeah, ZJK, and that one is setting up. How about MCVT? This is another one a few people are talking about, and I can see why it did jump up today. It's at 311, at least it is on here. So let's see. MCVT opened at 324. It says it got up to 446. Its low is 246, and it's at 445. So it did run up way more in the after hours right there, and it does look pretty healthy to continue to run up. It's in the top, so keep an eye on that for a momentum play right there. And that's that MCVT. A couple people asked about that one. And COEP, we were looking at this. It took a nice little bounce. It's been running around. It tried to get its head right into the top right there, and then it just pulled itself out. Usually when they look like that, they generally keep moving, and I was surprised that it didn't. Opened at 6.99. It got up to 7.89 and still wasn't enough because then its low is 380 and it closed at 682. So it took a really nice dip there, and that could be that really nice dip and rip look too, because it just poked its head into the top, and then all of a sudden it decided that it wanted to pull back and not get into the top yet and take a big dip. So we'll look at COEP, see if it wants to really bounce into that top tomorrow, and it will really run there. ADTX is another one. We were super early on and people are starting to talk about this thing, and this is the one that reminded me of ALLR, not the other one I mentioned earlier, but this one did. And I said CRKN, but this one was definitely it. ADTX. And let's take a look at it because it's still trying to get rolling here. It's still in the basement there. And let's see what it did today. It went 20 to 21, down to 19, closed at 20. So opened and closed at the same spot. And it doesn't look bad. I mean, it's just still in the basement. I don't think it's coming down. So keep your eye on it because it's going to be going up sooner than later. And we were watching this thing when it was down a lot lower. I know that it was probably down 17 cents. I don't know if it was any lower than that, but it was definitely down there. And it's almost at 20. So there you go at ADTX. Keep your eye on it. because it is trying to set up even better. SPI, this is SPI Energy. We were looking at this not just a couple weeks ago, maybe a week or two ago, and this thing went crazy today. I don't know if it was in the after hours or not, but opened at 42, got up to 175. It must have not have been because it's at 69 right now. Holy cow, that's crazy. So it ran in the regular hours and it's in the top. It almost looks like it wants to try to run some more tomorrow, but with that kind of spike up, it's hard to tell when they run like that. 43 to 175. Yeah, it did it in the regular hours. 42 to 175. It's both of them say it, so you know it's accurate. And it was during the regular hours. It's at 69 cents. What a run that was, and that was quick. Hope you had your finger on the sell button today with that bad boy. So that's SPI Energy, and it did have some energy, but it came back down. So we'll see if it wants to run back up tomorrow. And ACON, that's at Clarion Inc. This ran not long ago. What day was that? The other day, January 3rd. So ACON, let's take a look. It's just kind of pulling back. It's on that 50 right now. It's getting in between that channel, which can be like 14 and a half and 16 and a half ish, a little higher. So we'll keep an eye and see if it wants to stay in that channel. It could pull back, like I said, to the 14s. It's at 15, a little under 16 right there. So that's ACON, and we'll look at that one. JFBR is at Jeff's Brands, and this thing usually runs around a lot. It hasn't the last few days, but it was just before that. It must have heard me talking about it because it kind of stopped. Although it did on January 3rd, it went 264 to 370, but the last 2 days just been kind of chilling, 285 to 290 today, and it's at 279. So yeah, its high was only 292 and it's at 279, and it's not looking bad. It's just still kind of setting up. It has all kinds of lines like support lines, resistance lines all over the place. So it can move, it can bounce off of them, and it can also stop real quick. So we'll watch it. JFBR. Some people were asking about that. ELAB, let's see if it wants to run back up. We already caught the one pop, and I think ELAB might be trying to get set back up again. Let me take a better look at it. 232 to 247. It's at 231, and it's a penny lower. I'll have to look at it tomorrow. It's like right there. If it's teetering, you can't really tell if it really definitely wants to get rolling. If I had to guess, I would say it's trying to get set up, but I'll take a look at ELAB. It has looked pretty good, and it is looking a little odd right there, but it does look like it wants to set up. So I'll take a look at it, see what it wants to do. And XPON, this one's just pulling back here. It was down 12 cents. It's under there and getting pushed down. XPON. And yeah, we'll see if it wants to roll off that MACD. So it's going to have to come down a little bit more probably tomorrow. And then we'll see what it wants to do at that point. So remind me. And how about ENTA, this one? And not to pharmaceuticals or something, was way down. It's been in the basement and it just kind of pulled back. It got a little momentum there in the after hours. Let's look and see what it's doing. ENTA, here we go. 552 to 568. It's at 566 right now. And yeah, it's not looking too bad. It's like I said, it's in that basement right there, and it is trying to curl up. We'll keep an eye on it. It does look pretty good right there. So we'll look at that bad boy and see what it wants to do. And yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. Like I said, it is in that basement. It's pulled back real nice, and your 20's up here at 629. It could get moving right there. ENTA. So we'll look at that one. And MNMD. Let's see, Mind Medicine. That one popped up. We were just looking at it the other day. MNMD, and it did 789 to 883, and it's at 802 and looks pretty decent right there. It does have to get through that 860 area to keep on cruising, so keep your eye on it if it can get all the way up there and keep on moving, but it doesn't look too bad. And it did get up to that 883. So, yeah, it's just got to get to that 860 and then like 862. It can get cruising off of there, or it's going to hit it and stop again. So keep an eye. But MNMD should try to continue to run up a little bit. And how about BLZE? That's Backblaze. And this one's getting set up. It curled through. It looks like it's just pulling back a little bit. BLZE. And yeah, it looks like it's pulling back 657 up to 671, down to 634. It's at 643. And it curled through. It's trying to get into that channel. I have to look at it tomorrow. It could come down to the 620 area, so we'll just see what it wants to do real quick, and I'll take a look at BLZE and see when that wants to blaze back up. And SEZL Sezzle, this one was down pretty nice today, and I'm telling you, this thing's going to get really set up. It had bounced off that line, and it got up a little bit, and now today it came back down to the line, and it hit the MACD and pulled back, but that doesn't mean it's really going to go down. Maybe they are going to pull back a little bit tomorrow, but it's right there. I mean, it's ready to try to bounce off of that, so that's going to be an interesting one. And again, I wish they had options on it because I would have nailed that thing and already hit up there and then pull back and you hit it again on the second time. So that would have been a beauty, but they do not offer options on SEZL. So RMCO, let's look at that one and see what Royalty Management Holdings trying to do here. Pulling back right there, I would say. RMCO, let me see in the after hours. Yeah, that one looks like it's pulling back 104 to 105, and it's at 98, and it does look like it's going to be pulling back, so we'll have to look for that to get set back up there. RMCO and ESOA, that's Energy Services of America, and that one's just pulling back, about to hit that bottom right there, so might have to take a look at this one, ESOA, and just see when it wants to bottom out here, and it could be fairly soon. I'll take a look at it tomorrow and see if that's the bottom right there. So yeah, I'll take a better look at ESOA. And how about LICN, that Lynch in China? And this one was just kind of flat, but I'm telling you, it's trying to get in the right spot. I'm just been watching it. LICN, not set up just yet, but it's almost there, guys. So I'll let you know because this one will get moving and has a lot of room to run. So that's LICN, and just waiting for the perfect timing for that bad boy. And TANH is at Tan Tech Holdings, and this one was up at the top yesterday, and it did pull back some. TANH, let's see, 23 to 26 down to 20, and it's at 21. And it has been up at the top there, almost trying to make a base. So we'll see if it wants to pull back, but it looks like it is trying to set up with the 20 coming up. So we'll see if it does pull back anymore, and that's TANH and CENX. Let's look at Century Aluminum. This one's curling up really good. Aluminum might look good. We might have to look at them. CENX. Curling up real nice, 918. It opened that was the tie. It came down to 1807. It's at 1880, but it doesn't look bad at all right there. Let me see. There's only 4 of them, so we're going to take a look at them. AA, we just did CENX, CSTM, and KALU. So let me take a look at some aluminum ones. AA is Alcoa Corp or something like that, and that thing's setting up, guys. It has earnings coming up on January 22nd, it says, but AA is not Alcoholic Anonymous. It is an aluminum company, and it looks pretty good right here. I must say, aluminum might be heating up. So let's take a look at the CSTM. Costalium SE or something, because that's getting in to be in the right spot right there, guys, and this thing's going to get moving, and that's CSTM, and let's see what it is. Yeah, it ran up yesterday a little bit, 1106. It opened up high, and today 1062 to 1070 down, so it's been pulling back but setting up right there, and that is CSTM. So AA and CSTM, and let's look at KALU, Kaiser Aluminum, and this thing's flat, and this one's going to get cruising as well. So KALU, I didn't even write them down, but we'll write them down real quick. That looks really good as well. So I would say aluminum is looking pretty good right there, and that is CENX, and I'll tell you what they are because I'm going to jot them down real quick. It's AA. That's an easy one to remember. And we know CENX because we were just doing that one. And it's CSTM. and KALU. So take a look at them because they're aluminum ones, them four, and they are looking pretty good right there. So that sector's looking decent right there. And here we go. Let's keep on cruising right through and see what's going on. Um, I'll look it up. I'll definitely take a look. I'll get through the messages. I was just seeing a lot of good stock tickers being posted, so we'll definitely cruise through them all. But yeah, aluminum's looking good, guys. So keep your eye on that one, and let's keep on cruising here. Um, so that was CENX, and it took us through the aluminum ones. And let's look at AGRO, I believe it is. And that one's curling up right now at 971, looking pretty nice. AGRO. Let me see what you're doing. AGRO, yeah, I mean, that one does want to grow a little higher. I think it could get up into the 1050 area. Has to get through that 20 at 990. It's a 971, and it's not looking bad. I'll tell you that. It did cross through and looks decent. AGRO. So keep an eye on that. It does look like it might keep that momentum right there. And let's see what else is here. TIMB. Good old Tim SAADR. And this one, oh, that one's setting up really good right there. TIMB. It's getting to be in a really good spot. It was shot up a little bit, 1201 to 1221, and it closed at 1210. So it's hitting that 20 at 1219 right there. So it did get over, or it just got to it right there. Say it's at 1221. And yeah, it should get through it tomorrow. It is looking nice. It's setting up really good. TIMB. So keep your eye on that one right there. And how about BCH? That's at Banco de Chile. And this one is setting up, and banking was looking good the other day. We can look at them again. But yeah, the banking sector, this one went crazy. Opened up at 19, went up to 2289, and closed at 2270. So this one's curled up. BCH, might want to keep an eye on that one. It's looking really good right there. And INVZ, let's see that one. That one did run up. It's been in the top there for a little while, and tonight it did run up 195 to 314, and it's at 225. And I think it did run up in the after hours, possibly. Maybe not. It does show it on here, so it did run up during the regular hours. I thought it ran up in the after hours, but still looks pretty good. They try to run up a little more in the morning, possibly. Still in the top there. INVZ. So watch that for a little momentum right there. And let's take a look at RVPH right here. RVPH. And this one has a really weird look, trying to hit that line. And this is going to bounce up just by looking at it, and has that look right there. 195 to 217. It's at 210, and it is looking good right there. So keep an eye on RVPH. That one looks it's getting set up. SLS. Celis Life Sciences. And this one's just pulling back, hitting that support line right there. Have to take a look at this in the after hours and see. Probably going to get into this channel at 99 cents to like 112. It's at 104. It opened at 107, got up to 109, down to 99. And it closed at 104. So I think it's probably going to bounce in that channel for a little while, and it has some support or resistance at 105, depending on which way it's moving. And we can keep an eye on this. It could get set up there. SLS, MNPR, Monopar Therapeutics. I remember we were looking at this way back, and it was down in the twos. Right now it's at 25 something. So this is another one we had looked at before, and this thing looks like it wants to get set up and run up even higher. So MNPR looking crazy good, 23 to 25.39. It's at 25.25 right now, guys, and looking really healthy. MNPR. So you might want to keep an eye on that one. And how about CRNT? Let's see what CRNT is looking like at the moment. Surrogate Networks. Let's see. This one had already popped up, crossed through. It is really bullish. I would expect it to try to pull back just a little bit, but it's not a definite. So I'll look at it. It's definitely setting up to try to run up into that top. I would just expect it to have like another little dip and rip situation. So just watch for any pullback right there on CRNT. That is one of them communication equipment companies, and them things have been running up there. A lot of them are drones and stuff like that, so they've been running, and that is CRNT right there. And let's look at mRNA. That's in Moderna. I was trying to think what it was called. Moderna mRNA, and this thing is curling up right here. So check it out. mRNA looking pretty good. Someone mentioned it, and I took a quick peek at it. I was like, whoa, that thing's setting up 43.16 to 48.92, and it closed up there at 47.85. So not looking bad. Not sure what's got. Oh, you know why? They might have all that crazy another like crazy illness coming through. Go figure. Another 2 weeks until a new administration rolls in, and you have your next wave of something crazy like COVID. So how convenient. Anyway, mRNA looking pretty good, I must say. It's way down. It was up in the 140s not long ago in like the summertime. So actually in the 170s, and you're at $47. So take a look at that bad boy. And PFE is Pfizer, and this thing is setting up. It's curling up. It's been running up here. It's at 27.13 PFE, and it does look like it's about to run. So take a look at mRNA and PFE. Moderna and Pfizer looking good right there on the pharmaceutical end. And there you go with them bad boys. Let me see what you guys want to look at. Let me pull them up over here. Let me see. Hold on a second. Where is? It's right here. Let me pull it up on my computer because it's way easier to see. I don't know why I didn't think about this way sooner, but I never did. And here we go. We'll cruise through a bunch of them right here, and then we'll hit our laptop travel ones. Let's look at our BIVI. Jennifer Lee just posted in BIVI. Let's look at it. BioVi or something like that, and that thing looks good. What one did you mention last night that ran up today? Because there was one that you definitely mentioned that started with an NV something. I forget what it was, but that thing ran up really nice today. So yeah, that was good. And here we go. Let's take a look at BIVI real quick and see what it's doing. 221 to 258, and it's at 252, and I would say it's going to get to that 270 area and try to move. I mean, it looks pretty hot right there. So that is BIVI. So yeah, take a look at it, and I think it's looking pretty solid to say the least. And NVDL, just for kicks and education, let's take. Oh, we'll look at that for when we get to them. We'll definitely look at that one. NVDL. Here, I'll post that out real quick. And here we go. There you go with that. And let's see, IXHL, Bong Pri-chan. Let's see what that's doing right here. We did look at that real quick yesterday, and it is curling up really nice. Or it was it this morning? I forget, but we did look at it real quick. It's in that channel, 190 to 219, closed at 208, and it is curling up, guys. We were looking at it before. It looks pretty decent right there, IXHL. So I do think that one's going to try to run right there as well. And NVAX, you got it right there. NVAX, thank you very much, Laptop Travel. And yeah, that one was great. NVAX, that ran up today. It's up over $1.06, but where did it run to? NVAX. 10:06 to 11:50, and it closed at 11. So there you go. That was a good one from Jennifer Lee, and like I said, she's pretty much on the money whenever she throws them out there. They're usually momentum runners, and they're going to run up, and that other one looked really good there. So there you go. VRTX, let's see what that one's about. Vertex Pharmaceuticals, that's curling up really nice right there. Drewski, that's at 408.32. Let's see what it looked like in the after hours. It's an expensive one, but it's really nice. And it was trading up in the 460s or 470s and even the 500s, and it's at 408. I'm guessing that these have options, Luis Rodriguez and options crew. So Drewski, I'm guessing that you're an options guy if you're looking at this bad boy, and it does look really good. And that is VRTX, and I'm gonna jot that one down, looking nice right there. And let me scroll down and see what's going on. All these other ones, XAIR, XAIR. Let's see. Beyond Air. Let's see. That one is curling up. XAIR right here. Let me take a look. It looks good today. 37 to 45. It's at 42. It's going to hit that line and get into that channel. And it is looking good right there. And that channel will run like 42 up to 47. So it could run right through it tomorrow if it crosses through. It is looking nice. Your 50's at 47 and a half, and then it has support or resistance at 49 and a half. But X-Air not looking bad right there, Lewis G. And let's keep on cruising right down here. Barber has a couple. Let's take a look at them bad boys. PET. Let's look at, I haven't looked at that in a while. WAG Group. And this is a software company. Oh, that one's looking really good, Barber. Good eye on that one. PET. And I would say it's trying to get set up right there. 32 to 34. It came down to 28 and it closed at 31. I would say your bottom was right here, probably about 20 cents, 19. It did dip into the 19s, it looked like that day. Yeah, 19 and a half on December 20th. And I'm telling you what, this thing's getting set up. This could be your new pet right here, PET. So keep an eye on that one. That's looking good. WAG Group. Let's take a look at PGHL. I meant to write that on the list. So glad you mentioned it. And I meant to I looked at it today. It was just kind of pulling back. Nothing crazy right there. And that's what it looks like right here. It doesn't look like anything real crazy. It is just sitting right there on the 20, though. So we'll have to see what it wants to do tomorrow. Let's see if it can get back up there and get moving. We don't really want it to pull back much more on PGHL, so that could try to bounce back up. HKD, AMTD Digital. This is a France software application company. Right in that channel, it was trying to move the other day, and it just did not get moving. Let's take a look at it. It's in that channel, like I said, which is 283 to 298 right there. And I think this one could try to get curled up if it's going to roll off that MACD and start moving again. So HKD not looking too bad right there, Barbara. And what else did you have? CNEY. Let's see what that one's looking at. CNEY. At HKD, we can take a look at tomorrow and see what it wants to do. CNEY is looking good right here. That CN Energy Group, specialty chemicals in China. We were just looking at it, and it is curling up. It was running up a little bit today, CNEY, and it did 36 to 49, and it's at 37. Still looks pretty good there, but did run up pretty nice as well. So there you go at CNEY, and there you go at Barbara. And PALI, let's look at that, Lewis G, and see what that's up to real quick. PALI. Let's look at that one. We were looking at this the other day because we were looking at something else, and I was saying the other one was going to be something with a PAL, Pally, something. What was it? This one, Palisade, right? Yeah, it was definitely this. I was saying it could be your Pally, and yeah, it's running up there. It was up 8 cents. And let's see, 222 to 259, and it's at 230. So there you go with that. And it is looking pretty decent right there, PALI. So I would watch it to try to run up a little bit more right there. So there you go, Lewis G. EJH. Oh, I meant to put that on there. And WTO. I was looking at both of them today, and EJH did take a really nice dip today. So let's take a look at it real quick. It did pull back right there. Obviously, EJH 91. It got up to 93, came down to 69, and closed at 74. And it's like almost in that channel. So we're going to have to see what it wants to do tomorrow. Obviously, I think it's going to try to bounce back up right here and get moving. So we'll have to see. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what it looks like at the moment. So we'll take a look at that tomorrow. And WTO was pulling back a little bit as well today, but that one recently ran up, WTO. So let's see, WTO. And yeah, it ran up on the 3rd, and then yesterday it was up to 46 cents on the 3rd. On Friday, it was up to 47. Today, it ran 39 to 43. And we'll have to see. It's at 37 if it's pulling back or if it wants to get curled back up here. The 50 is at 35 cents. So we'll see if it wants to stop there or if it's going to try to curl back up. And that is WTO, and that's EJH as well. And let's take a look and see what else we have on here. Kimmy, we just got to the EJH for you. And SOBR, small cap game changer, says it has to break that 120 area. And I know we looked at it, but I don't really remember what it said. And let me take a better look at SOBR. And let's see, right there. Hold on, I'll tell you in a second. Let me see. It's got to get up there a little high. I mean, it's actually set up. It should get out of the basement, and your next stop should be around like 188. So that's what I see on here. And yeah, I'm not saying that's definite, but I'm just saying that's what I'm looking at. And it should try to get out of that basement relatively soon. One of them scientific and technical instrument companies, and they have been looking really good as well. How many? There's only 20 of them. I'll hold that page for the end and we can run through them bad boys because they've been looking pretty decent as well. And that's SOBR. And yeah, PLTR. How about that single day drop right there? The biggest one since May. And I still would have been pretty wary of it because it just, I mean, it looked like it wanted to dip, but I still would have messed with it. And now it could come right down to that 65. It is at 69 right now, and there isn't much holding it up at the moment. So if you want to play with it there. But yeah, I would have been careful just because I know it was still curling down too and looked like on generally I would have been like, yeah, that one wants to dip, but this one's just been a wild one and Sophie, so you just had to play them smart. Wasn't something to try to risk right there. But now it does look like it's coming down for sure. And obviously, like I said, it could get caught up at that 65 area, but that is a nice dip. And I mean, that's why you don't chase these things at the top up here, because when they do this and they come down, you're in trouble. So that is PLTR. And that's why I did say you got to be careful with that. And Sophie did come down. And again, it could hit this 50 right here at like 1445 area and get hung up and try to make a base and try to move. So we'll take a look at both of them. That's PLTR and Sophie right there. So there you go. That was a nice dip as well. EYEN, yeah, that one is looking good. We went through that bad boy. And the minutes from the Fed December meeting are released at 2 p.m. Thank you. That is tomorrow, Luis Rodriguez. And I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And let's see what else we have. I'm just kind of cruising down, I think. Oh, CYCC. Let me see what that's doing, Sherry. I missed that earlier. I didn't even see that one. I actually like keeping the X site up on the computer. It makes it so much easier. Before I would just like scroll through my phone while I was trying to talk, and I don't know why I had the brilliant idea after 6 months. I was like, why don't I just put the site up and look at it on the computer on the other screen, and it makes it way easier here. So yeah, it takes me a little while sometimes, but we got there. And yeah, CYCC, I probably would have missed that one completely. But that one ran up the other day, January 3rd, 37 to 89. Today, 44 down to 40. It's at 41. And it's not looking bad, honestly. It looks like it's trying to get set up. You could see it pull back down here into like the 37, 38 area. But it should get set back up right there, and we'll keep an eye on that. Sherry, just remind me about that one. ADTX, we got that one. Derek, EJH, I did forget to put it on there, but we just went over it. And let's see what else, everybody. Like I said, that GCTX, everybody's talking about that, or GCTK. Where'd I get an X from? GCTK, that one everyone's talking about. Here was a couple of them, I think. Let me just take a quick look and see. MESO. Let's look at this. Timmy Crypto wrote the FDA tracker on here. So let's just see what these are. I don't even know what they are. MESO. I don't even know if they are MESO, Mesoblast. It's an Australian company, and it looks like it's pulling back right now. MESO, so I think that one's pulling back. ATRA, let's see what that's doing here. ATRA, that's another biotech in America. That's coming out the top. It looks like it's going to be pulling back here. So that one had just run up as well. And what else do we have here? BIIB. Let's see right here. BIIB. And this one could be getting set up right here. BIIB. Biogen. And it did run a little bit today. Let me see if that's the same one. Yeah. 153.34 to 156. It's at 153.15. I'd have to look at that tomorrow. And VRTX, I think didn't we look at this one before? I don't know. Vertex Pharmaceuticals, and I don't know. Maybe not. This one's setting up really nice. Didn't we just look at it? VRTX? I don't know. Maybe not. It looks like a chart we just looked at, but I don't think so. VRTX, though, it looks really good right here at 408, and it is setting up right there. So keep an eye on this VRTX. Oh, yeah, I was going to say, I just wrote it down. Holy, you want to talk about a brain injury right there? Wow. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure I just saw this one. And yeah, I just wrote it down on my piece of paper. It is looking really good there, VRTX. So there you go with that bad boy as well. And MNPR, we did that. So we think we got all them guys right there. And let me see what else we're looking at. I think I got all that. Let me go back up, see if I missed anybody, because I saw some more getting posted right there. CRKN, we did look at that one. And we'll look at it real quick because I have no idea what I said. It was pulling back a little bit there and just trying to get set up. I'll look at it tomorrow to see. And JTAI, this one might be a decent one. Down 21 cents. I know we were looking at it the other day. That's why I haven't looked at it in a few days here. Let's look at it. JTAI. It did just bounce. It just dropped underneath that 20 right there, which is at 461. You're at 413. I'll have to take a look at it. It might want to bounce off the bottom is what I was looking at. But so I'll take a look at that JTAI. Barber made nice profit on CNEA today, or CNEY. I can't read or talk today. I don't know what the hell's going on. But anyway, CNEY. Barber nailed that one, and let's look at SNSE for her. She's been doing really well lately. I'm telling you, she went from trying to trade way too many to really slimming it down to and zoning in on a couple, and now she's nailing them. So there you go, Barbara. And I've talked to Barbara a few times on DM, so I know. And yeah, so very good right there. I like it. And she definitely knew that she was making the mistakes of trying to trade out too many of them, and it was catching her because, like I say, yeah, you have to do it with your lifestyle as well. If you have a 9 to 5 job and you're not staring at this computer, these penny stocks will move real fast unless you're setting the sells, which is also tough because they can run like crazy, and then you get sold out a little earlier than you probably would have, which is not a bad thing. It's just some people get upset about it. But anyway, I mean, you're still locking in your profits. But yeah, you got to be careful, especially with penny ones and stuff, that you don't try to trade way too many because they get crazy on you. And then yeah, a couple start dipping and you're like out of control. So SNSE, let's look at that Sensei Biotherapeutics and see what this is doing real quick. SNSE, it did look like it was trying to curl back up, and it does look pretty good right there. Let me see what it did today. 53 to 54 came down to 51. It's at 53. So opened and closed. And even if it dips down, it's going to come to the 48 area. And I'm not even saying it has to. It just could. It could even just dip to that 50. But it looks like it's trying to set back up there. SNSE. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that one as well. And let's see real quick. Get the feeling that the outgoing administration has adopted a scorched earth exit strategy. I do. It seems that every opportunity they are crushing hope in the markets, creating internal economic problems and worldwide conflicts. You're absolutely right, Laptop Travel. You're not the only person that said that. I talked to 2 other people today, and literally two other people said the exact same thing, and I have to agree. And again, I said to them, I said, and I don't even think it's Biden's not running this. He hasn't been running the show the entire time. I pointed that out 3.5 years ago. It was real simple, and now look at his health. I mean, poor guy needs to just go off. The dude has dementia or whatever he has. I don't know what he has, but he's definitely out in left field. You could see it in his eyes. I suffered a brain injury. I know what it looks like. Trust me. And he's definitely out there, and he's not running a country. That's for damn sure. And yeah, I went nuts that one day about when they shot them missiles into Russia. They said for over 2 years they would never shoot that particular missile, and all of a sudden Biden's walking around the Amazon lost, and they're shooting these missiles into Russia. So it didn't make any sense. And again, I asked the question, who is really behind this? And yeah, I agree 100% that every opportunity they want to, they are trying to destroy it. And that's why I said with that whole new China, whatever's coming out, the new disease, I won't even say it's a China disease. I don't know what the hell it is, but how convenient is it that in 2 weeks we have a new administration? Trump comes back in, and then the last time they tried to impeach him, and we went back and looked at the dates because I didn't realize they lined up like this. When they failed to impeach him last time, about 2 weeks later, COVID started all of a sudden. So now all of a sudden, 2 weeks out from him taking office, we have another one starting. It's kind of weird right there, guys. And I mean, just kind of bizarre. But yeah, I have to agree 100% laptop travel. And you're not the only one, like I said, that said that to me today. Two other people, my buddy that I trade crypto with, literally said the exact same thing. And another buddy of mine said the exact same thing. Said literally, like, dude, it seems like every chance they get, they're just trying to destroy everything on their way out just to try to like screw the people. And yeah, they are. That's how much. That's how much. And again, it all comes back down to power and money. And that's how important it is to these people. They don't care about you and I. They never did. They never will. It was all about lining their pockets, having power, and that's all it ever was to them. And to be completely honest with you, I say it all the time. I was never a big Trump fan before. I honestly was under the impression that's what he always was trying to do. And now you fast forward and actually look at things, and it's amazing how corrupt and crazy the media can spin things and make things look. And that's why I pointed it out before. I pointed it out plenty of perfect timing when the media was a propaganda machine, and you could just see it. And again, we were just going off of charts. It never looked close. And not to be political in this conversation, but yeah, the media was just feeding us all BS the entire time. And thank goodness the American people saw through it, because if not, we'd be a pretty screwed country. But again, it's just amazing how it all lines up. The charts work with it, and everything just falls right into place. It's kind of fascinating when you watch it. And those that have been listening to the show for a little while, they definitely know I called it all out, literally from the Trump assassination attempt to the election for 3 months and everything in between. These charts just don't lie. They fascinate me. That's why I love to do it, because they just tell you everything. They never, ever, ever lie. The only thing that lies are politicians, the media, and everything else. And these charts just don't. It's the money trail, and it can't lie. So it gets manipulated, and guys, I point that out as well. So just interesting things. But yeah, I can't agree. I can't disagree with you, laptop travel. And it's just mind-boggling that people would rather destroy things and make things bad for people just to try to like keep some kind of power for themselves or anything, whatever it is. It's just get over it. It's greed. That's what it comes down to. At the end of the day, it's greed, and yeah, they have to get over it. And hopefully, our country actually runs the right way, and it shouldn't be ran with greed. And that's how it's been run for years and years and years. It just got completely out of control, and hopefully, it can be stopped now. And obviously, you see that Doge and Elon and that whole thing. And that's what it's all about, really, is just cutting. I mean, when they start releasing, and they have already, some of the things that this government has spent money on is insane. I mean, I think there's a report they were spending money on, like, to see if like cocaine would like make rats become, I forget, it was insane. It's the most insane testing that you would ever waste money on. If you and I ever said we were even going to have this idea, people would probably put us in a fucking mental institute. These guys were wasting $1 billion on this shit. So it's insanity what was going on. So yeah, and we're just all here American people working our asses off and paying for all this nonsense. So again, hopefully it all ends and works its way out. But anyway, let's get back to stock charts because that's what's important. And I just went off on a tangent. Thanks, laptop travel. No, I'm just kidding. I agree with you 100% though. It's just mind-boggling that, like I said, people will try to destroy things for that power and to make them so. I don't even know what it's about, to be honest. But anyway, USIO, Jennifer Lee. Let's look at this one because you know it's probably going to be a nice runner in the morning, guys. So let's take a look at it. USIO. UCIO. I don't even know what it's called. USIO Inc. is what it's called. And let's see it. USIO, let's go. It did run up today. I'm just looking at it 190 to 292. It's at 268, and it does look pretty good. It's in the top and has that look like it's going to stay in the top in the morning. I can't promise you it does it all day, but it should be a nice little momentum play right there, as usual, Jennifer Lee, that when you post them. So I would say that is looking pretty good to continue to run. And Luis Rodriguez said it looks tired with us. With 6 of the last 8 trading days in the red, there's a lot of room below, and I think we could go 2 to 60 if selling pressure continues. Several ARK, the ARK ETFs have been trimming their positions in PLTR. So he was talking about that PLTR. And yeah, I agree. It could definitely come back down. What is that number I said? And again, I was just kind of warning you guys before because once it was around that 20, today it finally got under, but it was hovering it yesterday and it was sitting on there at the end of the day, basically at that like 74.61 area. And it was just kind of hanging out, maybe even at 75. I can't really tell, but it was right around there yesterday and today clearly under and could go to that 65. It's at 69, like 99 or somewhere in that area. It could definitely come down to that 65 area, 66, 65 and hit that 50. And then you have to see it should get down to the bottom right at that point and basically make a huge run from the top for like 3 months. Basically, it got in there September 9th and it came out like once, twice, 3 times, maybe 4, but finally really just came out the day after Christmas, December 26th. So that is some major running in the top there. So yeah, you may see it come all the way down to that bottom to set back up PLTR. So I don't disagree with that right there. Luis Rodriguez and GDRX, Jennifer Lee spitting them out tonight. So jot these down, guys, because they're going to be good for the morning. I can tell you right now without even looking at it. GDRX, good RX Holdings. And this one just kind of pulling back there. It does look like it's trying to set up in that after hours. Let's see, GDRX. Let's see it in the after hours. This one just 458 to 463 at 442. I'd look at this tomorrow just to see if it is trying to bounce. If not, because it's hitting the MACD line and it's been trying to bounce off of it. If not, this one will get set up, GDRX. If it doesn't bounce up tomorrow, and this isn't really a momentum one, this is more of a setup type one right here. So yeah, if it doesn't get rolling tomorrow, we'll keep an eye on GDRX because it should get set up right there. And BTU, let's look at Peabody Energy. And here's another one. This is another good like little setup one down in the basement, just got back in there and it's hitting that bottom line right there, BTU. And let's see, it could bounce tomorrow. We'd have to look at it. It has that interesting look. It just got into that basement and it's just hitting that MACD line down there. And I'm not so sure it wants to stay in the basement long looking at it from this look. So I would look at this for a bounce play tomorrow, BTU. It could do it. And so we'll keep an eye on that. I'm going to jot that down for the morning, BTU. And we'll look at that one. VRTX. Then I look at, yeah, I wrote that one down. and looked at it twice actually. So we know we looked at that, and that NVAX was last night that ran up that Jennifer Lee gave us. And let's see Intel. Let's see what that's trying to do. That one's really setting up without even looking at it. We'll look at it real quick, and yeah, it's definitely setting up right there. We'll go through it as we go through the other ones, the big cappers. And yes, sir, I was preaching. I'm sorry, I don't like to preach too much, but there you go. And so let's cruise through our laptop travel list right here. You know, these are going to be some good setups. They generally are. And we'll cruise through them. We'll do our big caps, and our crypto did pull back today. I don't know what happened to that either. Mag 7 crypto just decided to take nosedives today. And then the jobs report come out pretty decent, so I have no idea. But like you said, the Fed minutes are coming out tomorrow, and who the heck knows? I think we're going to see some bouncing tomorrow or in the next or Friday, because Thursday we're closed, and it's going to throw things off, that's for sure. But whatever, we'll work right through it and catch the poppers as we do it. So here we go, AGRI. Let's take a look at AgriForce growing systems, because we used to look at this, and it is getting set back up. That bottom was down here at 203 area, and it's at 250 right now. AGRI is looking pretty good, and it's gonna get moving. It's getting curled up 246 to 265. It's at 260 now. So I would say keep your eye on AGRI, because it's about to start growing up a little bit more. ASTC, let's take a look at Astro Tech Corp. And this is setting up really good, guys. ASTC, you definitely want to keep your eyes on this. It's getting into that channel, and it is setting up right there. I could see that one moving either this week or next week. BDL, let's look at that. BDL, I don't even know what that is. BDL, that is Flanagan's Enterprises. This is an interesting one. I don't think we ever looked at this one before. And it is a restaurant, Flanagan's, huh? Isn't that a restaurant, Flanagan? Oh, obviously, but I'm trying to remember if I ever heard of it. What am I? I'm thinking of Bennigan's. Never mind, not Flanagan's. Never mind. Anyway, it's in that channel right there, and it is curling up really nice right there. BDL, I would say keep an eye on this one. It looks really good. Do they have anything going on the 27th? Nothing reporting earnings. Nah, it looks good. I like it. I don't know if I ever even heard of that, but it looks real good. BENF. Well, I know we've heard of this one, but let's see what it's doing here. Just a little bit of curl back, nothing crazy right there. BENF just cutting that 75 to 77. It's at 72. It is getting set up. It's just not ready tomorrow, so we'll keep an eye on it. BHIL, that's at Benson Hill right there. This one's getting set back up. It did run recently, and it's about to curl back up right here. BHIL, so take a look at that, because it gets back up over that 233. It was at 241. It's high today. It's at 231 now. So it's like right there, and it's ready to try to bounce back up. So that's BHIL. And BRN, Barnwell Industries. Let's see that one. That one was down pretty nice. BRN, and it's curling up really good too. So keep an eye on this. That bottom was down here the other day on December 30th at 131, and it is getting curled up and moving right through to 20. It's up 7 cents today, 157, 147 to 159. It's at 157 and looking really good to get out the barn. So that's Barnwell, and it looks good right there. Cassie, CASI. Let's see, Cassie Pharmaceuticals is curling up and looking really good as well. So keep an eye on Cassie. That one looks really solid right there. Nice one right there. CETX, this one we were looking at the other day to try to set back up. I even said it had that great earnings, and it is about to curl back up out of the basement. So keep your eye on CETX, looking really good right there. Could try to get curled up and moving tomorrow. We'll look at it in the morning. DWTX, we've looked at this one recently. DWTX, what is it doing? DW Dogwood Therapeutics. And it is trying to curl up right here. It actually looks really good right there. It just had some pullback today, 286 to 243. And we'll see if it wants to pull back anymore, but it does look pretty solid. I mean, it doesn't look bad. I don't even know why it pulled back that much today, to be honest with you, DWTX. So I would look at that to try to roll off and try to move. Yeah, I'm not sure what it pulled back for, but it looks pretty solid to me right there. DWTX and ESEA. Here we go, Euro C's. And this one is just pulled back in the right spot right there. It looks like it wants to take off ESEA, and it is getting into that channel to run. So take a look at that one, GNLN. Let me type it in right. And still, let's look at GNL because I got that far. GNL is Global Net Lease, and it's at 744. And this one is just kind of setting up as well. So it's not even on the list. We just happen to stumble upon it because I can't type today. And it did pull back a little bit, 765 down to 737. It's at 745 and setting up. That 20 is coming up to meet it, the 50. So not looking bad right there. And that's GNL. And now I'll try to do GNLN. We got there, Green Lane Holdings. And this one's looking good right here. That bottom was down here at 140. We're at the 160 area. GNLN. I got it again. And here we go. It does look decent. It ran up yesterday, 176 to 222. It's at 163 now and doesn't look bad. So I would take a look at that. GNLN. And GSUN, GSUN, Golden Sun Health Technology. This one's getting set up. It looked like it should have got curled up today. I don't know why it didn't, besides the market, but it is in that channel, 283 to 288, and it closed at 284, so a penny up than it opened. And yeah, it's in that channel, just trying to get set up. It would have been better if it would have ran up a little bit more today, but it's all good. It will get a little sunnier right there. So that's G-Sun and HUDI. That's Hootie. I don't know what it's called, but it's HUDI, and it is a China steel company, and it is just kind of pulling back in that channel. That could be a little dip and rip look right there on HUDI today because it did pull back to 165. It wasn't its low, but it's pretty close. So we'll take a look at that and see if it actually wants to start bouncing there. Like I said, it had a nice little dip right there today. ICU, we were looking at it the other day, and it is trying to just pull back a little bit, but this one's going to get set up again, ICU, and try to get cruising. So we'll look at that and see when it wants to get out of the ICU and get moving. And MAMO, let's look at that, Massimo Group. And let's see, recreational vehicles. These ones are starting to look good all of a sudden. I have to take a look at them. How many are there? Oh, there's only 14. We can look at them too. We pop that over there as well. And let's take a look at this MAMO. Hold on, MAMO. And it is 250 to 269. It's at 263 right now. And like I said, it's looking pretty damn good right there. So keep an eye on that bad boy, MAMO. And MDIA. Let's see what that's doing. MDIA Media Company Holdings. Oh, that took that nice dip. Was it today or yesterday? I know we were looking at it recently. Today it went like, yeah, today it did some crazy stuff. 123 to 196, and then it came down to 88 and closed at 102. I actually saw this. I don't know what it was up to, but it was on our list too the other day, and I'll have to look at it because it does look like it wants to try to run again, and I have no idea. It did catch my eye earlier, and it was running all over the place and down and up, so I'll look at that one, MDIA, and see what it wants to do there. NNAS. Oh, here we'll go. NAAS. Here we are. NAS Technology or NAS Technology. This one's setting up in a great spot, guys. This one we're definitely want to keep an eye on right here. It did open and close at the same spot at 215, but I would say keep an eye on this one right here because that looks good. NAAS and NAII is it? Yeah, I think it was NAII. This one is trying to curl up right here. NAII. Let's see right here. Natural Alternatives International. And yeah, this one is trying to curl back up. And that bottom was back here at 403. You're at 429 right now. And looking pretty decent right there for NAII. So we'll keep an eye on that one as well. And let's keep on cruising through this list. There's a lot of great ones on here. NISN, that's NISON. This is International Enterprise Development Group from China. And this one's just a little bit of pullback. Could be getting set up right here. It might have to just pull back a hair more. NISN. It's just sitting right there on the 20. I'll have to look at it. It looks like it might just pull back a little bit more to get set up. NRXS. NRXS. Let's see. This one runs around a lot, actually. Let me take a look at it. NRXS. And yeah, 295 to 250. It's at 259 right now. It looked like it was trying to get moving. It actually pulled back. So what it close at? 249. So it gapped up. That's why it has that crazy look. So it gapped up and pulled down. It could be setting up to try to pop back up. So keep an eye on that one. NRXS. And let's look at PLUR. That's Pluri Inc. And this is a biotech company in Israel. And that bottom was right there at 407. We're at 447 right here. PLUR. Let's see. And it's just in that channel. Just got into that channel today, which is 464 to 488. And it isn't looking bad. I'm telling you what, it's trying to cross through, curl up right there. Gets through that 476, it could actually start moving there. PLUR. So I would keep an eye on that one as well. And QNRX. This is Pharmaceuticals, I mean, and we've looked at this before. It looked like it was just kind of pulling back right there. Let me take a look at it. Oh, it's right there in that channel. Let me look at that tomorrow. We'll see if it wants to curl back up and get moving. This one could have a nice pop really soon. QNTM, that's Quantum Biopharma. And this one looks like it's trying to get cruising right here. It's a drug manufacturer. That bottom was down here at 270 or 386, and it does look really good. QNTM, Quantum Biopharma. What did it do? 367 to 548. It actually ran today. Let me see. It didn't say that on here, did it? Nah, I didn't think so. Yeah, it says its high was $4. So it does look like it did run today. It looked really good. So it might have ran in the after hours and it's at 380. I'd have to look at it tomorrow. I'm not exactly sure, but it was set up in the right spot and looking good. So it might have already popped up there. QNTM. SGD, Safe and Green Development. This is going to set up in the perfect spot. Keep an eye on this in the next few days, guys, because this is going to be a beauty. SGD. It went 259 to 319. It's at 248. And I'm going to jot that one down, SGD, because that's setting up really good right there. And that's going to be a nice one. SNOA. We haven't looked at this one in a while. Sonoma Pharmaceuticals. And it is curling back up. And it's looking really good right there. SNOA. So we might have to keep an eye on that one. I like that too. That's looking good. SVT. Let's see that one. That one's interesting. SVT. And this is Servotronics, Aerospace and Defense. And it's an interesting one, that's for sure. It looks like it bottomed out. It's an Amex one. Let's see. It went 1041 to 1119. It does look like it wants to run up here. SVT. And what? It says 950 to 1119. It's just, it's kind of a weird looking chart. I'll look at this tomorrow, but it does look really good. Like I said, it's one of them Amex ones. Sometimes their charts are a little bit weird. So I'll take a better look at it, but it does look pretty nice right there. THAR, that Tharamune. Oh, wow, this one's getting really set up right here. They got something going on. THAR. I'd keep an eye on this one. It was running up today 211 and 226. It's at 222, and I would definitely take a look at that in the morning. THAR. It looks like it's trying to get set up right there. It gets up onto that 233 area. It's going to pop. So take a look at that. TPT, Trio Petroleum. This one's setting up as well and curling up. It was moving up a little bit today. I know I saw that. TPET, 106 to 152. It closed at 121, and it does look pretty good now. We had caught that popper before. It ran up on what, December 19th there. and it's setting up again, it looks like. So keep an eye on TPET and TTNP. Let's see what that's doing. Titan Pharmaceuticals. That's curling up really nice. TTNP, I know we looked at it before a while ago, and it's setting up again, looking good. So keep your eye on that one as well. And VLCN, let me type it in, Volcon. And this one, it's split back there in November. It's in that channel right there. Let me see, VLCN. Yeah, it ran around 490 to 549 at 423 in that channel. I'd have to look at it tomorrow, but it is setting up, it looks like. I just can't tell if it's going to bounce up or down tomorrow. But like I said, it's going to be setting up for a couple days and to get moving. And VMAR, let's see, Vision Marine Technologies. This one got out of the basement recently, setting up in a really good spot. This is another one you want to keep on your list right here. If I write it in right, VMAR. And yeah, 159 to 171, and it's at 168. And you're going to want to look at that one as well, VMAR. So there you go at your laptop ones, and they are some beauties right there. So a lot of great setups, and we will definitely keep an eye on a few of them, and some of them are going to start running like this VMAR. So keep an eye on that as well, because it's looking good right there. And there you go. I'll even retweet that out, repost that. He just Laptop Travel just posted some of the charts real quick, so I'll repost these real quick. It makes it way easier too to do it on the computer to do this stuff. So here you go. I'm just gonna do this. Give me 2 seconds to repost some of the charts. You guys can look at them, and appreciate that. Laptop Travel. And here was one that I don't think was on the list here. Onco, was it? ONCO. I'll have to look at that one real quick, because I know we've looked at that before. ONCO, and it recently ran, didn't it? Yeah, I thought so. It ran the other day on this on New Year's Eve. Just pulling back right here, but not looking bad. So I'll take a look at that tomorrow. It's right on that 20 right there. So that could get moving. RVPH, let me look at it. I think we did take a look at that, and I don't even know what I said. RVPH. Yeah, we definitely looked at it. I remember. Oh, it's curling up right there. It looks pretty good. I would say RVPH is trying to get moving right there. So keep an eye on that one. RVPH, yeah, it just curled through 195 to 217. It's at 210. It is looking good right there. Early retirement. And that Nas crossed the MACD. That is looking good. Good old Nas, good rapper right there. TVGN, let's take a look at that and see what it's up to. TVGN. Tevogen Bio, that one's looking good to continue up, have some momentum after today, because it ran up a little today, 133 to 168. It's at 164 and should keep some momentum in the morning there. So keep an eye on that. KSCP, let's see what that one is. KSCP. We did not look at that. KSCP here. That's Nightscope. And that's touching that bottom, or touching that support line right there. KSCP. It ran up yesterday. What the heck? Yeah, okay. It did run up yesterday there. It ran up from 1594 to 2080, and then it closed at 1550, and then today 1532 down to 1379, and it's at 1427. So it is touching that support line. That's an interesting one to take a look at right there. Have to see what's up with that one. And that's a security protection service company. And there's ICU, a bunch of these charts. I'll just post a couple more. Oh, there you go. And then we will try to cruise through the rest of these bad boys real quick. Let's see. What did Laptop Travel write right there? They dropped because the jobs report gives support to Powell and the Fed's previous stance that we don't need 4 interest cuts in 2025, and they don't want to give them to us. And I know that for a fact too. So yeah, that's what was going on. I did see someone saying that. So there you go right there. And I agree. Just crazy stuff. Jennifer Lee has a couple more here. Let's take a look at HPE. What's that one doing? HPE, Hewlett Packard, and this one is just kind of pulled back. It was looking great right there until today. And like I said, I think a lot of them are going to bounce tomorrow, or you're going to see a real bloody market real quick. So let's hope that they really bounce tomorrow. And we'll be on at 7 a.m. to take a look at them. But HPE looks like it should bounce back up, to be honest with you. And we'll have to see if it does come back down to that 21. It's at 22 area. So we'll keep an eye on that in the morning. I'll write HPE right down under IBM. We could take a look at that one. And here we go. Our Mag 7 overnight is NVIDIA, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, and Meta are up, and Tesla and Google are down a little bit, according to Laptop Travel. So there you go. I'll repost that, and then we'll get cruising right through. And and Luis Rodriguez says, "Is that the kiss of death or what?" Because Kramer said that PLTR starting to make its move. Yeah, that's always the kiss of death right there. That guy, he's something else, huh? I don't even know, what does he even look at? Like, I have no idea what's even going on in that guy's brain. WHLR, Wheeler Real Estate Wheeler Real Estate Investment Trust. Okay. It is looking really good right there, East Coast Beach Girl. I have to say, WHLR. I know we looked at it recently, and it is looking solid. 339 to 474, and it closed at 350. So that's pretty wild right there. It did run up, and it looks like it wants to try to get out of that basement and try to run up your 20. It passed it today. It was at 411. So we'll see. It could easily get curled up tomorrow. I'll keep an eye on Wheeler right there. That does look good. And there you go with that bad boy. And let's cruise right on through and see what's going on right here. And and Anthony said, but then who cares what these losers say? Here comes Trump. Yeah, let's see what happens, right? We can only hope for the best is all we can ever do, and that's it. Yeah, I try to do that for for whoever's in office and running the country. You always have to root for the best. But like I said, I mean, when no one's running anything and the country's a disaster, you kind of have to move on from that agenda and get back to a real agenda. So anyway, let's cruise on through. I'll look at crypto real quick, tell you what that's up to. We'll do our SPY and our big caps, and we'll see what's going on the scanners for tomorrow morning. So let's see what crypto looks like real quick here. It looks pretty red, and Bitcoin came down to 96,500 already. It's down like $5,000 today. I don't know what the heck happened with that, but it's not looking pretty solid because it was over that 50 and now it's below it really quick. And I was talking about Solana, and I was saying earlier, I was like, I don't think it wants to get pushed down that hard. It did, so I guess it really did, because Ethereum's at 3,374, and that one's back under the 50, and it was over at the just earlier. Ripple back to 233, and that one just kind of pulled back, but that 50's under it, so that one's still a little safe. Solana's back to 199. And like I was saying earlier, I was saying it was right there, just under that 50. It was curling, and I was saying, I don't think it wants to push it down that far. Excuse me, that far. But guess what? It definitely pushed it down that far. And I don't know if it's going to make it that much further down, but it definitely pushed it when it should have jumped right up and started popping. So that was Solana. Cardano is back to 99 cents right now. And that one is just kind of it did pull back under the 50, but it's trying to get cruising back up over it. So we'll keep an eye on that at that 99 cent area. Chainlink's back to 21. Sheeb is down. Let's look at Bonk real quick. See what that's doing. That's been down lately. It had that crazy run in the beginning, and Bonk just hasn't been able to be the same. And it is down quite a bit today. It was trying to get moving, and it's down like 12% right now. And let's just see what WIF is up to real quick. WIF, that's at 185. And let's take a look at it. And that one definitely pulled back there. So crypto, real quick pullback today, I would say. Not exactly sure what happened with that either, but it definitely pulled back. And we'll see if it can rebound tomorrow. So we'll look and see what that's doing in the morning. And let's go ahead and look at our SPY and our big cappers and see what's going on here. Here we go, SPY. It was down 673, and it looked like it was going to hit that support line at 585, but it didn't get that low. Like I said, it got to 586, so it did come close. And it looks like it should try to bounce back up tomorrow, is what it looks like, but it doesn't have to. I mean, I can't promise you. I guess that's more wishful thinking, but it does look like that. But it could definitely come back down too. So we'll take a look and see what it's going to do. Apple came down $2.79. Looks like it wants to pull back some more. Um, Amazon came down 550, and these things were looking solid this morning, up over the 20s. That pulled right back, and it was trying to curl up, and it just definitely didn't curl up and got crushed back down. So we'll see if Amazon can get moving back up. Google was down only $1.25, but it did run up over 200 today. It got to 202 and then came down, and it looks like it's trying to cross through. So Google's an interesting one. Still looks like it's trying to get moving somehow. And good old Meta, this was down like 1231 after a big run up yesterday, but still looks good. And Microsoft, that pulled back 548, and it looked really good to try to get moving. And it just pulled back with the rest of them. So we'll have to see if that wants to get bouncing tomorrow. And our surpriser, NVIDIA, was up early this morning and came crushing down like $9, $10. It was kind of crazy. It's up in the 92 cents, it says on here. And again, it could easily bounce right back up. It's sitting right on that 50, like literally just sitting on it. So we'll have to see what NVIDIA does. And it is super bullish right there, to be honest with you. So we will look and see if it bounces tomorrow. I think it should. And Tesla, TSLA, was down 1669. And it is pulling back, and we kind of thought it might. I don't know if it's going to come back down under this bottom, which was 373.04. It's at 394 right now. So we'll have to see if it does come down further. Any further into the 370s or the 380s right there for Tesla. And AMC, this was up a penny, and I'm telling you, these things are trying to get set up. And GameStop was up 55 cents, and Chewy, CHWI, was down, but this thing's getting really set up. And again, it jumped up over that resistance, and it needed to get set up. It's in that channel, going to get set up, and CHWI will get cruising. Good old Netflix was down, and again, it could come back down into that 860 area. It's at 879 and hit that 50 right there. Let's take a look at AVGO, because this was an interesting one. It's down $7.77, and it does look like it's pulling back down here into like that 222 area. It's at 228 now. So we'll have to see. AVGO looks like it might want to pull back right there. And MU, that was cruising, and it was up some more, but it hit that resistance right there. So we'll have to see if it can continue. But MU was like the only one that was moving right there. And what else are we looking at? TSM, this was down 859 after it was just hitting all-time highs. Didn't get into the top, but could easily turn around tomorrow and try to move back in there. SMCI down 207. Not looking bad, honestly. Just kind of pulled back there after it ran up a little bit. And AMD, that one came down 222, and just another little pullback after it had run up. So not looking too bad. And let's look at PayPal, PYPL. That one came down $1.56, just sitting on the support line. It was getting curled up, hitting the line, and just kind of hanging out, so that could easily get cruising. And Snow was coming down a little bit, and it was trying to curl up, but it is coming down. Not so sure it's getting back down to its bottom down here at 153. It's at 158, so we'll have to keep an eye on Snow. And QCOM, that was actually up a little bit today. It was at 160. Let me see, QCOM. And it wasn't looking bad. That might actually try to, I don't know if it's going to try to pop tomorrow. We'll have to look at it in the morning, but it has that possibility, QCOM. And Intel is getting set up, guys. That was up, and we've been saying it's getting set up, and it's looking really good. So keep an eye on QCOM and Intel right there. And like I said, I think we might see some bouncing tomorrow. Disney was trying to set back up. We were talking about it being down the other day, and that bottom could be there at that 109. You're at 111 right now. So we'll keep an eye on Disney. Disney and Oxy was up a little bit today, and I told you these things just going to keep going up. They just run up a little bit, pull like go flat, pull back, and keep going. ExxonMobil, the same thing, getting through some resistance right there, so that wants to run. XOM, Mara came down $1.48. They were looking good to try to cross through, and that's why I think these things will get moving again. Riot did come down like 48 cents, and it did just cross through the other day, and I'm telling you, it looks really good. So I do think that they will get moving, and crypto and stuff. MicroStrategy came way down again today, and we'll see that one's hitting the 50, and I'm telling you, it's going to cross up. It's just right there, some pullback, and they're going to get blasting off. So that's MSTR and CLSK. Just a little pullback, same situation. It just crossed through, and it's getting ready to run some more. And good old coin, COIN, came down like $23. This one's actually surprising because it was curling up real nice. I still don't think it's coming down to that 246 area, which was its bottom. It's at 266. So that is COIN, Coinbase right there. And let's take a look at DJT. It was looking great this morning, and it did pull back a little bit, but it doesn't look bad at all. It's trying to get curled up and get moving, so DJT not looking bad, and that should get set up to get cruising some more. And PHUN, good old fun right here. And this one, I think it was up today, wasn't it? PHUN, let me see. Let me type that in. PHUN. It was up 22 cents. And like I keep saying, that one's going to get fun. It went 580 to 607. It's at 586 right there. So that's PHUN. And let's take a look at our Mountain MTN, good old Val Resorts. This one's still pulling back and setting up really good. I think maybe next week that one's going to be a beauty. And let's see what McDonald's was doing, because that one's pulling back some more. And I think it might have to pull back a little bit more. It was just set up perfectly, and it didn't want to move. I said I wouldn't mess with it, but I wasn't personally messing with it. It looked like it was really good. And then it just had that pullback right there. So I guess their Big Macs weren't ready to get served up, and it came down. So Boeing was up. And again, I don't know how this company even moves. They can't make anything that even works anymore. And yet it's continues to somehow go up. It pulls back and goes up. BA and Space SPCE. This was down a little bit, and it's still getting set up here. And I'm telling you, it gets up over that 691. It's going nutty. So it's in the 630 area right now. SPCE and Rivian. This one had pulled back a little bit today, hitting that hard support line. It could bounce right back up tomorrow. You can't really tell. We already looked at PLTR and Sophie. PLTR is probably going to dip some more. Sophie may get hung up right on that 50 right there. We'll check it out at 1450 area. So keep an eye on that. And Dell, if I could type that in, not DEKK, Dell, this was down 339 today after it ran up the last 2 days, and I think that one might try to bounce back up. So we'll see if Dell tries to run back up. It's at 121.80. And let's take a look at Nike. This was setting up. It was up a little bit. It's coming off of that bottom right there. And like I said, it is setting up. Its bottom probably is 71.98, right around there. So keep an eye on that. See if it wants to pull back anymore. But Nike is setting up very soon. And good old DXYZ. This one was down 274, and we were talking about this one actually pulling back to try to catch some dips. And here you go. It's finally pulling back, so you can catch some opportunity on that one. IBM, this one was setting up, and it's up. And I'm telling you, this one wants to get cruising, guys. So we were talking about IBM. Someone asked to add it, and it was a good one curling up. And there you go. And there you go with them bad boys. We did our crypto and our big caps and everybody else. Let me take another look and see what's going on. MU is looking really good right there. Luis Rodriguez, I can't argue with that one at all. It's just hitting that support. If it gets into that channel, gets up to 109, get over that, it'll really be cruising. So I wouldn't be surprised if it tries to get up there tomorrow. So there you go with that one. GEO, what is that one? MS, I don't even know what that is. GEO, let's see. Geo Group. Wow, this one looks like a shell company up here, but it's not. It's a security and protection company. And it is looking pretty good. Had a little bit of pullback there, GEO, but not looking too bad. It looks like it wants to try to cross up there. So I'll have to take a look at this one tomorrow. That's an interesting one right there. And C is Citigroup right here. And this one ran up and hit some resistance trying to get up into the top area. And let's see. It's hard to tell if it wants to run up more tomorrow. It might pull back a little bit to set up, so just be careful chasing them, chasing Citigroup up here. It could be a better one if it pulls back down here to the $70 area. So just look at that bad boy right there, and let's see right here, NVDL. Yeah, let's look at that one real quick. NVDL, that is the NVIDIA long ETF, and let's look at it. It is pulling back right there, and it came through to 50 and its 20s right here at 69.95. We're at 71, 72, or 72.55. Let me take a better look at it on mine, NVDL. And yeah, I mean, it could get caught up. I don't even know if it's coming back down to that 20. So it could bounce right back up off of there and get moving again. So it doesn't look bad right there. I can't say that it looks terrible for NVDL. So I'll look at that in the morning, see what that's up to. And there you go right there. Let's see what else is happening here. I think we got most of it right there. And let me see. Hold on. Let me see what else we have. Um, T-Pet, BAM, MU. I think we got all them. NVIDIA, you're loading up if it dips to 135. Yeah, like I said, I'm not sure if it is going to dip right there, but I would say if it dips to 135 on that line, Luis Rodriguez, me and you both are going to be buying some more. So there you go on that one. Here you go. Laptop Travel wants to speak on the year. Let me pop them in real quick. Hold on, I'll finish up and I'll pop Laptop Travel on real fast. And boom, give me 1 second there, Laptop Travel. Let's see. There you go. I think I just sent you an invitation. You can speak, and I'll just finish up right here, and then we'll hear what you have to say. But yeah, I would say everything looks pretty. I mean, like I said, the Mag 7 was down, so hopefully they get bouncing for tomorrow morning. SOBR is looking good. We did that one right there, Shitco, and it's a good name right there. But yeah, we definitely did that one. I know it's looking good down there. It's trying to set up and some of that, and we'll go through. I'll go through the recreational vehicles and them scientific instrument ones. I'll pick out some good ones for tomorrow and give you guys them. And again, the market will be closed Thursday, so just remember that as well. And there you go. I think I sent you an invitation that time. I'm not even sure. I think I did. But yeah, there you go. And let me just see real quick what else is going on. I'll look at the scanner real quick just to take a quick peek. XTIA, it's pretty much everything we looked at. That CERO is looking good right there. And let's see. Hoth ran up today. What else is going? Yeah, we looked at like everything right there. So I'm not sure that. Invite to speak. Did you get the invitation, Laptop Travel? I invited you to speak. Just let me know. If not, you can hop on anytime. You know that. And there you go. Let me see what else is happening real quick. I was going to look at stock charts, so let me just take a quick peek at that. Tell you what's going on. Oh, you know what? I did. I have the list right here for the quantum ones, so I'll look at them real quick because they're all up there. DATS. Remember, I told you that ALT, that Altimmune, that one's trying to set back up. It did dip down. We looked at it, ran up just a hair, and then it came dipping down. ALT looks like it wants to get moving right now, so we'll keep an eye on that. ALT, and looks pretty decent right there. A couple other ones. Get ahead, Laptop Travel, log off and come back on. I don't think it was working for him, so he's going to try that. We'll let him look at that, and I'll tell you what the quantum ones and the computer hardwares look like real quick, and then we'll have Laptop Travel come on and give you his outlook for the year. So hold on real quick. RGTI, I know this pulled back. Like I said, the CEO of NVIDIA straight up said like these were going to take a little while to basically get cruising or really be effective. And these things are all at the top anyway. I've been saying you have to be careful with them. And so you're going to see them pulling back now. RGTI is down like $1.12 right there. QUBT, quantum computing. This one pulled back like 60 cents and then another $2 in the after hours. Looks like it's going to come down to that $15 area. Oh, it already did. 15.35. Well, there you go. It has come down to that $15 area, 15.24, and it could even come down further than that. QBTS, that D wave quantum, and this one's going to come back down into like the sevens. It's in the eights right now. So all these bad boys, they were way up there and they're pulling back now. QTUM, that Defiance Quantum ETF. Let's see what that's up to real quick. That one was trying to curl up, and now it looks like it's going to be going down, obviously, with the rest of them. And IONQ, that one is down $1.48 and down $7 in the after hour. So IONQ got pretty smacked down. So there you go with them bad boys. And like I said, I think they were all topped out anyway. So I'm not so sure it's a surprise, but it was kind of a surprise to hear the CEO of NVIDIA basically just say, that they weren't basically the thing to do right now. They're like 10 years out or whatever he was saying. I was trying to think of what he even said, but yeah, he said you still have a lot of time for them bad boys. And let's just see what else is happening. I was just kind of waiting for Laptop Travel to try to log back on. There he is. Let me see. Let me hop him back on. I'll give you an invite. Oh, there you go. You're on. There you go. He's in. Just unmute yourself and you're good to go. So we're just waiting on Laptop Travel. Just unmute that bad boy, and you can just start on talking. Start talking there. So there you go. There you go. Yep, I can hear you. You're good. All right, Laptop Travel is going to give us his outlook for 2025. So here you go, Laptop Travel. Let's hear it.
market last night, but that are not in our best interest right now. But going forward, I think we should be really optimistic. Some of my observations, and I've been doing this for a while. Um, so Trump's victory in the election, has led us to this unprecedented surge that we saw in the stock market gains. Even surpassing, if I remember, more significant than when Ronald Reagan ran in the 1980s, in 1980. But the sustainability of this market enthusiasm still is a question mark for everyone. Now, this is a president's comeback in between a term where he wasn't, so President Trump, then Biden, and now Trump's going to be coming in almost in a way, almost like a lame duck president. Really unusual situation. So everyone's divided on whether this recent surge after the election represents this lasting trend that we're going to see, or just temporary irrational exuberance from everybody, because we're waiting on the policy decisions on things like tariffs and changes in immigration policy, which in many ways could pose significant rewards or risks to continued growth. So I just want everybody to realize that despite all these uncertainties, investors and Wall Street remains generally optimistic about the stock market's prospect for 2025 and for the continuation of the incoming administration. So overall, I'm expecting a broad-based rally across many sectors of the market: the Dow Jones, the S&P, the NASDAQ. And one big benefit we haven't seen in a long time is this Republican sweep, which secures control over the presidency with the White House, the Senate, and the House. And a lot of people see that as a very stabilizing factor going forward, because it's much easier to get policy and bills signed into law. And that could speed up economic incentives and developments much quicker. Of course, recently we've seen a lot of volatile trading sessions, so we should all be cautious, I think. But not all markets are showing the same strength, and these policy shifts we should be very very mindful of. So one thing I noticed is, and I've done a lot of research on this, is because I really follow a lot of biotechs. I was really big into Viking Therapeutics. Still bullish on that company. I feel like we really got slammed by the shorts on that one. But January, if you don't know already, is often seen as the month of mergers and acquisitions. Businesses have closed out 2024. They're looking ahead, and a lot of these big biotech, big pharmas, are looking for opportunities in the biotech fields. Of course, other big industrials are also looking for mergers and acquisitions. So that should really be on everybody's radar in the next 2 months. So the five sectors that I like: energy, oil and gas, because we know oil prices are going back up, and under Trump, I think we will, even though he's pro drilling and pro oil, I think we'll see oil companies also like that. So we're going to see higher oil prices and higher revenues. Financials, banks are going to look really good. The defense industry and manufacturing industries across the board. And the last thing is cryptocurrency, not directly a stock thing, but definitely keep your eyes out on the mining stocks. I really like Clean Spark, Mara, MicroStrategy. We're going to see how that plays out. But as I see it, those are the five sectors we should all be looking at very closely. So and of course, biotechs always, but especially now during the merger season. But energy, financials, defense, manufacturing, and cryptocurrency. So that's what I want to say. And let's everybody have a great 2025 and really enjoy being a part of this community. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Laptop Travel. And I agree 100% with you. Them five sectors are going to look good. Crypto is going to get rolling. And yeah, I think I agree with that. And that was a very good outlook right there. And yeah, I think the analysts think it's the last 2 years ran like 20% in the S&P. They're thinking about 10%. And you have to figure we're going to have some nice pop-ups. But again, we're going to see a nice pullback. I'm letting you guys know. And obviously, we're going to play it appropriate and know exactly what's going on. And you just play them the right way and you don't get crazy. You play the right one that you know is pulling back at that time and you do a little put on it. And it's the same thing as if you do a call option, except you know it's going down and you nail them. So we will play the market both ways and nail it each way. I promise you that. But I do know it's topping out. I'm telling you, it's going to run. It's gotten hot. And like Laptop Travel said, and I kind of went through that the other day. It got a little pumped up there. It looked like it was transitioning, and I was saying this on the show like 2 to 3 weeks before the election even happened. I was saying, remember, you couldn't really tell what the heck was going on, and I kept saying that, and I was pretty confident that it was going to be a Trump win, and yeah, and the market just exploded. It was excited, and another important thing you pointed out, the Republicans do have full control. They have the House, Congress, they have the presidency. So, like you said, you can kind of push your policies through and get them signed, and that's important because the last so many years it's always been divided. You have either president and the House one way and then the Senate or whatever is the other way or whatever it is. It's always something, and they just bicker back and forth. No one wants to work together. They just want to fight over everything. And maybe now, what like you said, it might not be exactly what everybody wants to see happen, but at least something can get done. That's been the problem. Nothing gets accomplished anymore because everyone's just fighting about nonsense. And so maybe there can be some agendas, and maybe it's not the greatest policy or exactly what the entire country wants, but at least it can be something to move forward on. And that's what I'm excited about because obviously the last 4 years, I think we went backwards. It's been kind of crazy. I'm telling you, the stock charts would have never lasted another 4 years of that. We would have never seen it happen. So, There you go. And I think that's a great outlook, Laptop Travel. Greatly appreciate it. And anybody that wants to ever come on, just let me know. And yeah, I'll let you say whatever. And Luis Rodriguez has two favorite biotech ETFs. So let's take a look at them, XBI and IBB. Let's see what they're up to real quick. XBI. Um, is the Spider Biotech ETF, the SBDR, and that was up today, curling up, and it is looking good. And I agree, they do have a lot of mergers going on in January, biotechs, and biotechs just heat up. They get hot. They have certain runs, and you generally see it in the beginning of the year. You'll see it in summertime. You see it around again around the holidays at the end of the year. They just get hot sometimes and just fire up and just get wild for like a month or two, sometimes 3 months. Then they cool off for a little bit and then they get wild again. And when these things run, they start running 100% plusers. That's where all the 100% plusers come from, or basically the biotech companies. They just get wild. So XBI, yeah, definitely setting up here. It was up today and it is curled through and going up. So that's looking good. And good old IBB. Let's see what that's up to here. IBB is iShares Biotech ETF, and that's another one looking pretty similar and looking good right there. So IBB and XBI both looking good, and both ETFs right there. So there you are. I like them both, and yeah, looks solid. So I would say that's a good little market review right there. And like I said, our Mag 7's a little red today, but I think they should bounce back. I can't promise you anything, and we'll be on at 7 a.m. to definitely look at it. So we'll see what's going on. The five news stories, just because they caught my eye on FinViz, it says Nvidia stock reverses course, falls after CEO's keynote. Yeah, I'm telling you, Nvidia's stock suffers worst drop in months. A CES speech lacked one big thing, and I don't know what it was, but it definitely lacked something to make it go back up. Morning bid, spiking yields, puncture risk appetite. Japan warns on the yen, and stock futures inch higher after tech-driven sell-off. And yeah, I think it might have to bounce back off. And and like I said, I don't know what he even did, that CEO, but he definitely made things go down real quick. So anyway, what a good show right there. Thank you, Laptop Travel. Greatly appreciate it. And everybody else who hangs out and helps out, sends in stock tickers and everything else. Greatly appreciate it. Profit Logics, MS, John Wong. How are you, John Wong? Jay Kraz, Luis Rodriguez, Dwight, Joseph J, East Coast Beach Girl, RD, Jennifer Lee, Miss Magdonian, Miss Magdonian, Tommy, Bong Chan, and Doge Mama 9, Game Changer, Sanai. I'm gonna say this name. I don't, I'm sorry, I butchered your name. It's ABRAHEEM. Sorry, I don't know how to say that. Buddy, Elisa and Sponko and Monkey Ninja Pigs on there, and Greg and Big Dog, Patrick, Alicia, so many others. Thank you everyone for hanging out. I always appreciate it. Let me know if you want to look at anything in the morning. You know, we'll be on at 7 a.m. And don't forget, tomorrow is kind of like a weird day because the market will be closed on Thursday, to remember Jimmy Carter, and then back open Friday. So we'll do a show tomorrow morning, obviously not tomorrow night, and then I'll be back on Friday morning to make sure we know what's going on to end the week. So there you go with our live show. Thank you again, everybody. Have a good night, and I'll catch everybody at 7 a.m. So have a good night, and I will see you in the morning. Have and yeah, and I was gonna say, and let me know if you want to see anything, shoot over any comments or messages, and I'll write them down and we'll take a look at it. So there you go. Have a good night, and I'll catch you guys at 7.